that the love we feel in our earliest years fundamentally shapes who we become.
Royal fans are in shock as explosive claims spread that Kate Middleton suddenly collapsed after a secret DNA test allegedly exposed the truth about a mysterious fourth baby. Panic, confusion, and whispers of a hidden scandal are erupting across social media, leaving millions desperate to know what the palace isn't saying. Could this be the biggest royal twist of the decade? Or just the start of something even darker?
And actually someone to help talk you through that, show you and guide you through that sort of phase that comes after treatment, I think is really valuable.
The story begins with a headline that has been circulating widely on social platforms and lower-tier entertainment sites. The suggestion that Kate Middleton collapsed after receiving the results of a DNA test connected to a supposed fourth baby. For many casual readers, this type of headline is designed to provoke instant shock before any critical thinking sets in. But before we even consider what is being claimed, it is important to step back and understand where these rumors originate, how they spread, and what is actually known from credible reporting. Sensational claims rarely appear out of nowhere. They almost always have roots in something smaller, something harmless, or something that has been taken out of context and then exaggerated for attention. The idea that the Princess of Wales might be expecting a fourth child has been appearing in tabloids for years. Sometimes the speculation is sparked simply by a photograph where she is wearing a loose dress. At other times, it appears because a royal watcher, or self-described insider, gives a quote that is vague enough to be interpreted in several ways. Publications such as Inquisitor have previously commented on these rumors, explaining that they tend to resurface every few months regardless of what the princess herself says publicly. Much of this speculation is repetitive, recycling the same talking points. A single gesture at a public engagement, a comment made in passing, or even a moment of mild tiredness during an event becomes enough material for a full rumor cycle. Other outlets have pointed out that Kate Middleton has made statements in the past that appear to contradict the idea that she wants a fourth child. For example, during an engagement some years ago, she was heard joking about not wanting to go through that again when asked about pregnancy. Publications including the News International repeated this comment, using it as an indication that the princess did not seem interested in expanding the family further. Still, such public statements have never stopped tabloids from suggesting the opposite, because the idea of a new royal baby is an easy way to attract attention. Royal pregnancies have historically generated an enormous amount of media coverage, so the mere hint of another child in the Wales family is enough to spark speculation. The more recent twist in the rumor mill involves a completely different interpretation. Several reports, including pieces from Pakistan Today and Geo News, have highlighted a claim that does not relate to pregnancy at all. According to these articles, staff who have worked with the Prince and Princess of Wales have jokingly referred to Prince William as Kate's fourth child. This comment reportedly appears in Tom Quinn's book about life inside the royal household. The book covers stories from staff members who, speaking anonymously, describe the dynamic between the couple in a light-hearted way. The suggestion that William occasionally behaves like a fourth child was not intended as a scandal, nor was it related to a secret pregnancy. It was simply a humorous remark. Yet, in the world of online gossip, such a comment can easily be repurposed into something more dramatic. What happens next is a familiar pattern. A joke, once separated from its original context, becomes raw material for clickbait headlines. Something that was intended as a casual observation is transformed into the starting point for a rumor that Kate might be pregnant again. The fact that the fourth child phrase in fourth, this context referred to Prince William and not an actual baby, is often left out entirely. This gap is where confusion begins, creating a chain of speculation built on misunderstanding. When the public is repeatedly exposed to these kinds of stories, more extreme versions eventually appear. Some sites push the claim that Kate is secretly pregnant. Others escalate the narrative further, adding dramatic elements such as medical emergencies or emotional breakdowns. In this current rumor cycle, the idea of a DNA test appears to be one such escalation. It introduces a scientific, almost forensic element that heightens the sense of seriousness. To someone reading quickly, a headline that includes phrases like "DNA test confirms the truth" may sound authoritative even when the underlying story is entirely unverified. it is important to emphasize that there is no credible reporting indicating that Kate Middleton took a DNA test related to pregnancy, let alone one that caused her to collapse. Reputable outlets, those that follow established journalistic standards, have not reported anything of the sort. Publications like Inquisitor, when addressing the fourth baby rumor, have actually focused on debunking it rather than giving it legitimacy. Geo News and other mainstream sources have similarly pointed out that the princess's health situation in 2024 makes speculation about a secret pregnancy particularly unrealistic. With her recent cancer treatment publicly acknowledged, the idea of an undisclosed pregnancy becomes even less plausible. These publications approach the topic from a factual standpoint rather than feeding the sensational narrative. Given the absence of verified information, one might wonder why such a dramatic rumor spreads so quickly. Part of the reason lies in the nature of online media. Dramatic claims attract attention, and attention is a valuable resource. Many platforms rely on clicks, shares, and comments to generate revenue. A headline involving a collapse, a DNA test, and a royal baby is guaranteed to draw more curiosity than a headline stating that no such event has taken place. In this sense, sensational rumors often have more commercial value than truth does. Another factor is the cultural fascination with the British royal family. For decades, people around the world have followed their lives with intense interest. Weddings, births, and major personal events are covered internationally. This fascination creates an environment where even small pieces of royal news are amplified, and minor moments are interpreted as clues to something larger. When combined with social media, where posts can spread in seconds without context or verification, it becomes easy for rumors to grow into seemingly credible stories. There is also the issue of anonymity. Anyone can post a statement claiming to be an insider, and many readers will accept it at face value. Without the accountability that established news organizations face, anonymous sources online can say almost anything. Some do so deliberately to generate discussion or to mislead, while others may simply be repeating something they heard without checking whether it is accurate. This lack of verification allows misinformation to spread rapidly. It is worth noting that the royal household itself rarely comments on rumors of this nature. The palace typically avoids responding to speculation about personal matters, particularly when it relates to health or family planning. Their silence is often used by tabloids as a way to imply that something is being hidden, even though silence is the standard response in these situations. This creates a cycle where the absence of a statement becomes an opportunity for more speculation. As we look at the current rumor claiming that Kate Middleton collapsed after receiving DNA test results, it becomes clear that this story is not supported by credible evidence. What we find instead is a chain of exaggerations, misunderstandings, and deliberate dramatization built upon a much smaller and rather harmless origin, staff joking about William being the fourth child. From this simple remark, the rumor evolved into speculation about a fourth baby, then into claims about secret medical tests, and finally into dramatic scenarios involving collapse and emergency. Understanding the origin of such rumors allows us to examine them more critically. Rather than accepting sensational headlines at face value, it becomes important to ask where the information came from, whether it is supported by reliable sources, and whether it fits with what is publicly known. In this case, the answer is clear. The dramatic claim does not hold up under scrutiny. It is part of a familiar pattern in the world of royal gossip, where speculation is prioritized over accuracy, and where a small comment can be stretched into a much larger narrative. One of the first things to acknowledge is how persistent this rumor has been. The idea of a fourth baby for the Prince and Princess of Wales has appeared repeatedly over several years. It becomes a cycle that renews itself every few months, fueled by photographs, public appearances, or casual comments that are interpreted in ways that may not reflect the actual situation. Publications such as Inquisitor have pointed out that these rumors often arise from very little. A dress that is slightly loose-fitting, a moment where Kate touches her stomach, or a period of reduced public appearances can all become reasons for speculation. In previous cases, the publication has gone as far as to say that there is no reliable evidence indicating that the princess is expecting again. Instead, coverage tends to repeat the same old speculation without any new information to support it. These same outlets have also highlighted statements Kate Middleton has made that seem to contradict the idea of another pregnancy. One example that is frequently referenced is an occasion where Kate interacted with a baby during a royal engagement. As she handed the infant back to the parent, she reportedly joked that Prince William was worried she might get broody. When the topic of having another child was raised, she is quoted as saying she did not want to go through the experience again. Although remarks made in public settings are often light-hearted, they still offer some insight into her thinking at the time. The context in which her comment was made suggests that she was not considering expanding her family further. Outlets such as the News International have repeated this quotation as a way of pushing back against rumors of a fourth pregnancy. The next important factor to consider relates to health. In 2024, the Princess of Wales revealed publicly that she was undergoing treatment for cancer. This announcement was widely covered by reputable news organizations and was delivered with clarity and sincerity. The revelation immediately altered how the public and the media viewed her recent absence from public duties. Before the announcement, her time away from the spotlight led to even more speculation, with some tabloids jumping to the conclusion that she might be pregnant. After her diagnosis was made public, several mainstream outlets, including Geo News, pointed out that the speculation about a fourth child was inconsistent with the health challenges she was facing. Cancer treatment is physically demanding, and its effects vary depending on the type of cancer and the specific treatment plan. It is generally understood that going through a serious medical condition typically leads to a reduction in public engagements and an increased focus on recovery. In this context, the claim that Kate was hiding a pregnancy not only lacks evidence, but also ignores the realities of her medical situation. Commentators have pointed out that, given the information Kate herself shared, such speculation is neither logical nor sensitive. It is one of the clearer examples of how rumors can drift far from the truth when not anchored by verified information. Another reason the fourth baby rumor does not hold up well under scrutiny involves the practical realities of royal life. The Prince and Princess of Wales already have 3 young children: Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Royal children typically participate in a large number of public traditions, attend events, and are guided by a significant set of expectations. When Kate has spoken about her family in the past, she has often talked warmly about her children, but has also acknowledged the energy required to raise them. In interviews and public appearances, the couple have portrayed themselves as hands-on parents. The idea of adding another child to the family is not impossible from a lifestyle perspective, but the princess's past comments have not indicated that it is something she desires. This leads into the misunderstanding that turned into the most recent wave of speculation. Tom Quinn's book, which includes anecdotes from former royal staff, contains a remark stating that Prince William is sometimes referred to jokingly as Kate's fourth child. The tone of this comment, according to reports from Pakistan Today and Yahoo News, was not serious or scandalous. It was a light-hearted observation about William's occasional playfulness and how he sometimes reacts during family or work situations. Much like any couple, the two have their moments where one partner behaves more childishly than the other. Staff members were simply describing that dynamic through humor. However, once this remark filtered into the tabloid ecosystem, its context was lost. Instead of being presented as a joke, it became a clue used to support rumors of a mysterious fourth child. It is important to recognize how information transforms as it passes through different types of media. A lighter comment, made informally and without any implication of pregnancy, can become misinterpreted when headlines focus on buzzwords rather than nuance. When the fourth child reference was separated from its original meaning, it gave rise to 2 different lines of speculation. One interpretation was the literal idea that Kate was expecting another baby. The other interpretation was that the royal household was hiding something significant. Because royal life is often viewed as secretive by outsiders, misunderstandings like this can grow very quickly. Once again, reputable sources made efforts to clarify what was actually said and what it meant. They described the comment about William as a benign, humorous remark without deeper implications. Outlets with more responsible reporting standards tried to distinguish between verified information and the versions being amplified online. This highlights a broader challenge when addressing stories involving the royal family. Many audiences are drawn to the most dramatic or surprising interpretation they see, even when the truth is far more ordinary. Another factor contributing to confusion is the general lack of communication from the royal household about personal matters. Kensington Palace typically does not comment on speculation about pregnancies, relationship rumors, or private health details beyond what the family chooses to disclose publicly. This long-standing policy is intended to maintain privacy and prevent personal issues from being used as sources of public entertainment. Yet this same silence is sometimes misinterpreted as evidence that something is being covered up. In reality, the palace's refusal to engage with rumors is not an indication of their truth or falsehood, but a consistent approach the royal family has maintained for years. For the average person trying to understand what is true and what is conjecture, the best approach is to look at what has been confirmed by credible, well-established news sources. In the case of the supposed fourth baby, consensus among serious outlets is clear. There is no evidence that Kate Middleton is pregnant, has undergone a DNA test related to a pregnancy, or has experienced any incident resembling a collapse due to such a test. Instead, the narrative seems to have formed from a combination of misunderstandings, misinterpretations, and the appetite for dramatic royal stories. The presence of these rumors does not mean that people act maliciously when repeating them. Sometimes false claims spread simply because they are surprising or seem exciting. But it does show how important it is to critically evaluate sources and to question whether a piece of information makes sense in the broader context of what is known. When we do that here, the reasoning becomes much more straightforward. Kate's own past comments, her public health disclosure, the statements from reputable publications, and the actual origin of the so-called fourth child story all point away from the idea of a secret pregnancy. The rumor, when examined carefully, does not stand on solid ground. The starting point is a statement made in Tom Quinn's book, in which a former royal staff member describes Prince William as Kate's fourth child. According to reporting from Yahoo News and Pakistan Today, the comment was never meant to suggest anything about pregnancy. It was simply a way of highlighting moments when William behaved playfully or lightly during interactions at home or during informal moments around Kensington Palace. Anyone who has worked closely with families knows that such observations are not unusual. People often use similar expressions in everyday life when describing a partner as childish during a joke, a game, or a minor domestic disagreement. These expressions are not meant literally, nor are they used to hint at anything deeper. However, when such comments appear in books or interviews about the royal family, they rarely remain simple. Royal life has its own mythology in the public imagination, and readers often approach anything related to the monarchy with curiosity, suspicion, or expectation. The idea that a future king might occasionally act in a light-hearted or immature way becomes a point of interest not because it is unusual, but because people expect the royals to behave differently from everyone else. So, a joking remark about William becomes noteworthy, but once it is lifted from its original setting, it becomes vulnerable to misinterpretation. The transition from a harmless joke to a rumor about a secret child illustrates how quickly information can shift meaning. In the world of online gossip, context can disappear within seconds. A phrase like Kate's fourth child, originally said in a humorous tone, becomes something more dramatic when repeated by an outlet that prefers intrigue over accuracy. Without additional explanation, readers may assume the term is literal. This assumption is then repeated by others who either misunderstand it or choose not to clarify it, driving further confusion. Reports from outlets such as Inquisitor have noted that royal rumors often originate this way. One small, ordinary comment evolves into a theory that spreads across online platforms without being questioned. People who see the rumor hours or days after its creation often do not see the original explanation, only the altered version. As the altered version travels, it picks up new details and interpretations. Eventually, it becomes something far removed from the original remark. In this case, the evolution of the joke into a rumor about a fourth baby helped fuel the next layer of speculation. Once the idea of a literal fourth child took hold, it became easier for tabloids and social media pages to attach further details to it. This is how the rumor expanded into claims about a secret pregnancy, followed by fictional elements like DNA tests, collapses, and dramatic emotional reactions. The transformation resembles a chain reaction. where each retelling adds a new twist. What began as a staff member's harmless remark turned into a rumor that appeared completely detached from reality by the time it reached widespread audiences. Looking more closely at the way royal commentary is interpreted helps explain why such misunderstandings take hold so quickly. The royal family, by its nature, operates in a more private environment than many public figures. While they appear in official engagements, ceremonies, and public events, much of their daily life remains behind closed doors. This privacy creates a sense of mystery. Anything that leaks out, even a joking comment, is treated as a peek behind the curtain. For readers who follow royal news closely, these small glimpses can feel like rare insights. Additionally, there is a long history of the public trying to understand the royal family through hints and subtle cues. People who follow the monarchy often engage in what might be described as amateur decoding. They interpret facial expressions, clothing choices, or brief comments as significant clues. This habit, combined with the lack of frequent personal statements from the palace, makes the environment especially fertile for rumors. When a comment like "fourth child" appears, even in a humorous context, it fits easily into this pattern of overinterpretation. The media environment plays a major role as well. Tabloids and entertainment sites are incentivized to publish stories that attract curiosity, discussion, or surprise. A headline suggesting that William has been behaving like a fourth child does not create the same kind of buzz as one suggesting Kate is secretly expecting a fourth baby. Shifting a phrase from a playful description to a pregnancy rumor increases its attention value dramatically. This is a major reason why versions of the remark often appear without the clarifying details that were present in the original source. It is also important to recognize the influence of timing. The resurfacing of the fourth baby rumor coincided with a period when Kate was largely absent from public engagements due to her health. This absence provided an information gap that rumors were quick to fill. Information gaps are powerful drivers of speculation. When people do not know why something is happening, they often create explanations that feel satisfying or dramatic. A rumor about a fourth baby fits this pattern, especially when it could be seen as an alternative explanation for reduced public visibility. After Kate publicly disclosed her cancer diagnosis, several reputable outlets highlighted how insensitive and inaccurate the earlier speculation had been. Geo News, among others, reminded readers that linking her absence to a pregnancy was unfounded. In the aftermath, many commentators reflected on the speed with which rumors had escalated and the lack of critical evaluation applied early on. This reflection highlights a recurring challenge. Once a rumor gains traction, especially one involving pregnancy or family matters, it becomes difficult to counter even when credible information is available. From a psychological perspective, the appeal of stories involving royal children is understandable. Humans naturally respond to narratives involving families, children, and personal relationships. These topics are relatable, emotionally charged, and easy to follow. Because of this, rumors about royal babies tend to spread more rapidly than most other royal topics. Even when the content is unverified, the emotional appeal makes people more likely to share it or believe it. This human tendency is part of what keeps the rumor cycle alive, regardless of facts. Another issue is that stories about the royal family often mix confirmed facts with speculation, leading to a blurred line between what is known and what is assumed. A reader might see a factual statement, such as a comment made by a staff member, presented alongside conjecture about a pregnancy. Without careful reading, the two can appear connected. This blending of information is a defining feature of modern tabloid reporting. It creates an environment where misunderstandings can flourish, especially when the subjects such as the Prince and Princess of Wales are widely recognized but rarely speak publicly about private matters. In reviewing the origin and development of the fourth child rumor, it becomes clear that it is built on misinterpretation rather than fact. A playful remark was taken literally, repeated without context, and eventually combined with unrelated speculation to form a narrative that bears little resemblance to reality. What this demonstrates is not that the royal family is hiding anything, but that rumors can easily grow when audiences are eager for information and when the media environment amplifies anything that captures attention. By examining this rumor carefully, we see how essential it is to consider the source, context, and credibility of any claim before accepting it. Without this approach, it becomes easy for ordinary jokes or comments to transform into full-blown stories that mislead the public. The rumor about Kate Middleton collapsing after receiving a DNA test result is an example of how misinformation can spread in ways that seem almost disconnected from facts. Examining why this happens can help explain not only this specific case, but the wider pattern of sensational stories that surround public figures, especially those who live under constant media attention. One of the first factors influencing the persistence of this rumor is the structure of modern digital media. For many online platforms, success is measured by engagement, clicks, shares, reactions, comments, and watch time. Stories that provoke strong emotional responses tend to perform better in this system. A headline suggesting that a member of the British royal family collapsed after receiving shocking news about a pregnancy fits this pattern perfectly. It triggers concern, curiosity, surprise, and speculation all at once. These emotions make people more likely to click on a story or share it with others, which keeps the rumor circulating. This incentive structure does not always reward accuracy. In fact, it often does the opposite. Accurate reporting tends to be slower, more cautious, and less dramatic. Sensationalized stories, even when false, tend to appear more exciting at first glance. In the case of Kate Middleton, reliable publications such as Inquisitor, The News International, and Geo News have made clear that there is no verified information supporting the rumor. However, the debunking of a story rarely travels as far or as fast as the original claim. This is not a failure of journalism, but a reflection of human behavior. People are drawn towards dramatic narratives, even when those narratives turn out to be incorrect. Another factor that contributes to the endurance of the rumor is the continuing fascination with the British royal family. For decades, the monarchy has occupied a unique position in public consciousness. They are both highly public and intensely private, which creates a sense of mystery. This combination fuels speculation, especially around topics like pregnancies, marriages, and personal health. Stories that involve these elements feel personal and intimate, even though the individuals involved are largely inaccessible to the public. This contradiction between public interest and private boundaries creates an environment where incomplete information can easily be filled with assumptions. Speculation is also encouraged by the absence of regular updates from the royal household. Kensington Palace follows a long-standing policy of only commenting on significant matters and avoiding engagement with rumors. The palace does not respond to speculation about pregnancies, family planning, personal medical tests, or private family decisions. While this policy is meant to maintain dignity and privacy, it can unintentionally fuel more rumors. When people see silence from official channels, some interpret it as an indication that something is being hidden. In reality, this silence is simply the standard approach that the royal family has adopted for decades. Social media adds another layer to the issue. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube create short-form content that spreads rapidly. A brief clip claiming to reveal the truth behind Kate Middleton's fourth baby can reach millions in minutes. These platforms often reward dramatic framing more than careful explanation. Users may take a rumor they saw elsewhere and present it as though it were confirmed, either intentionally or out of misunderstanding. Once a rumor takes hold in these spaces, it becomes difficult to trace where it came from or provide corrections that reach the same audience. The nature of these platforms means that stories are often consumed quickly and without scrutiny. The emotional context surrounding the princess's health also plays a significant role. When she announced in 2024 that she was undergoing cancer treatment, the public reaction included sympathy, concern, and a heightened awareness of her personal circumstances. During this period, her reduced number of public appearances became a topic of intense focus. Some individuals turned to speculation as a way of making sense of the uncertainty. Misinformation often thrives in such gaps, especially when people are looking for explanations. The rumor of a fourth child was already circulating before her diagnosis was shared publicly. Once her absence became more noticeable, this prior rumor was repurposed by some as an alternative explanation. Rumors like these raise broader questions about the expectations placed on public figures. The royal family is often viewed as symbolic rather than simply human. Their actions are interpreted as representing something beyond individual choices. For example, Pregnancies within the royal family are sometimes treated as matters of national or cultural interest, even though they are deeply personal events. This expectation can create pressure or distort how their lives are perceived. When it comes to private medical matters, the contrast between public interest and personal boundaries becomes even sharper. Another aspect worth considering is the way rumors evolve over time. The rumor about Kate Middleton collapsing after receiving DNA test results is not an isolated claim. It appears to be the end result of smaller, less dramatic rumors that gradually became more exaggerated. The misunderstanding about the phrase fourth child was one early spark. From there, assumptions about a secret pregnancy emerged. These assumptions then combined with unrelated speculation about her health, eventually turning into a narrative that suggested secrecy, drama, and medical urgency. This type of evolution mirrors the way stories grow in forcing oral storytelling. Each retelling adds more detail, whether true or not. Psychologically, rumors fulfill certain social functions. They help people make sense of events they do not fully understand. They provide a way to discuss uncertainty or anxiety indirectly. When discussing public figures, rumors can also serve as a form of entertainment or escape. In the case of the royal family, many discussions about their lives resemble soap opera narratives, where dramatic twists keep audiences engaged. The problem, of course, is that these are real people whose lives should not be treated as fictional storylines. There is also a more practical issue. Many readers do not always distinguish between opinion, speculation, and confirmed reporting. Articles that clearly label certain claims as rumors can still be interpreted as presenting facts. The way information is framed visually also influences how it is received. A thumbnail image, dramatic headline, or strong phrasing can give the impression that a story is confirmed even when the content says otherwise. This is a common issue on video platforms, where titles are often used to attract viewers and may not accurately reflect the information provided. The persistence of the rumor also highlights the importance of media literacy. Understanding how to evaluate sources, check context, and recognize sensational framing is crucial in an environment where information spreads rapidly. In the case of this rumor, reliable sources have consistently emphasized that Kate Middleton is not pregnant, that the fourth child remark was a light-hearted joke about Prince William, and that no evidence supports claims of DNA tests or collapses. Recognizing the reliability of such sources helps separate fact from fiction. Ultimately, the rumor reflects the broader challenges of navigating modern media. It shows how quickly information can be distorted, how easily misunderstandings can escalate, and how much influence online engagement incentives have on public narratives. It also reveals how the royal family, despite being prominent public figures, remains vulnerable to the same type of misinformation that affects everyone else. The difference is simply the scale. Their global profile means that even the smallest rumor can spread internationally. As this rumor cycle concludes, the key takeaway is the value of careful attention to context and credible reporting. When stories involve sensitive subjects like health or family, it becomes even more important to approach them responsibly. The truth in this case is far simpler and far more ordinary than the rumor suggests. The Princess of Wales has not been involved in any reported collapse, has not undergone a DNA test related to a fourth child, and has not indicated that she is expecting another baby. The rumor persists mainly because of misunderstanding, entertainment-driven speculation, and the powerful influence of modern digital media.